work or you're not good at something is a huge thing in your life, because that helps you figure out what you are good at. And it seems the way Hashem made the world is that every single person has a particular combination of talents which is completely unique. I mean, there's nobody else like you in the world. And if each of us finds out what that our particular talent is, we could have an amazing life. The thing is to find out what your particular talent is. So my father found out he's not a great artist. So, okay, forget it. Forget art. That's it. No, that wasn't my father. Okay, become a mediocre artist. No, that wasn't my father. He was not the mediocre type. My father was a dreamer, and he didn't let go of the dream. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? He thought, I think I could be somehow a great businessman. I want to go into Wall Street. Why did he want to go into Wall Street? Amazing. Think about this. So he could become wealthy and buy art and support people who were unknown but had great talent as artists. That's how he decided he's going to channel his talents into art. It's brilliant, really. Brilliant. So in 1929, he came back to America. He left Paris, and he went into Wall Street. So if you know world history, pick the all-time worst time. The worst moment to go into Wall Street was September 1929. That was the market crash that began the Great Depression. People whose whole life was gashmias, money, stocks, literally jumped out of windows when in one day they lost a fortune. So he's a young man. He came back in the spring of 1929. 6 months later, the market crashed. But my father was a genius. He saw it coming. He knew what to do. He knew how to, it's called sell short, hedge against the market. You know what it means, right? Okay, you can explain to everybody else what it means. It's a very risky thing to do. If you sell short, there's no limit. This guy understands. No limit how much you can lose. If you buy a stock at 20 and it goes down to 0, you lost $20. If you sell short and you sell it at 20 and it goes up, it can go up forever. There's no limit. Your loss could be infinite. However, if the market goes against you, it's unbelievable. But you have to know what you're doing. You have to be very smart. And my father was literally, I'm not exaggerating, a genius. So right away the market crashed. He was okay. He got into business. And in 1939 he started his own firm, which today still exists 80 years later, whatever it is. The famous Wall Street firm. There are thousands of people working there now. And he started it. And right away he started fulfilling that. He found artists that were unknown and very talented, and he bought their paintings, and he started collecting American art. He was really the first one to do it. He made such a collection of art that in 2004 we went with him to the White House. President Bush presented him with the National Medal of the Arts, because he has the greatest collection of American art anywhere. And I will tell you that this is just a digression. I'll try to keep it short, but I had an unbelievable opportunity to have a talk with President Bush. There were thousands of people at this reception in the White House. I told Hashem, listen, Hashem, I have to talk to President Bush about Israel. And I did. We had unbelievable, 5 minutes with the President of the United States, and he listened. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I gave him this book. And it was amazing. It was amazing. Whatever. I don't have time to tell you what I told him. It was a beautiful, beautiful talk. A very special person, President Bush. And so my father was a famous person in Wall Street, famous person in the world of art, and he was also famous for something else, which is maybe the most unusual thing of all. He's famous for integrity, honesty. Today, Nueberger, you hear so many stories. He's pictured, pictures in the paper, some big businessman in his handcuffs and he's being arrested for something. And my father was always known, his word is his word. People trusted him, not just because he was a genius in business, but because he was totally honest. A beautiful thing. The big Kiddush Hashem. And my parents taught me this. So I grew up in this wonderful family. My mother, may she rest in peace, a totally different kind of person from my father. My father was very outgoing and intuitive. My mother was very intellectual, spiritual, and her maiden name was Salant. And my grandfather told me when I was a little boy, we come from a famous rabbi, Israel Salanter. That's why years and years and years later when I got a Hebrew name, I got the name Yisroel because of Yisroel Salanter. And 2 amazing parents, 3 children. I'm the middle, I have older sister, younger brother. They say the middle child is sometimes a little whatever, so that's me. Anyway. And we had everything. Lived on 5th Avenue. We never had any money problems. And great education, a family with ideals. So, perfect. Nothing is missing. Well, almost nothing. The only thing was missing was Torah, Yiddishkeit, Jewishness. Zero, zilch, nothing. That's like nothing. What does nothing mean? Nothing means nothing. I mean, of course, every Jewish kid has a bris, boy has a bris. Every Jewish boy has a bar mitzvah. No bris, no bar mitzvah, no Rosh Hashanah, no Yom Kippur, no Pesach, no Hanukkah. Not even Hanukkah, I mean. And my favorite day of the year was December 25th. But, who needs to be Jewish? Why be Jewish? You're living on 5th Avenue. You have all the money you need. You have this beautiful family. Who needs to be Jewish? There's a famous Gemara. It says in Gemara, what happens to a baby, a fetus in the womb? A malach comes, an angel comes, and the angel teaches that fetus, the developing child, like a super chavrusa, 24/7, 9 months, the whole time, the whole Torah. The whole Torah. Whole Torah. We're born, and the malach, they say, gives us a patch, hits us. They say that's why everybody has this little ridge between our upper lip and our nose. That's where the angel hits us. When the angel hits us, we forget everything he taught us. So what's the point? 9 months and gone. What? I mean, crazy. 9 months, super chavrusa, no coffee breaks, nothing, and then we forget it like this completely. We go out into life. We get all this information crammed into our heads. English, science, history, math. What happens if we are fortunate enough to hear Divrei Torah? The words that came down from Har Sinai thousands of years ago. Wait a minute. It's different from all that other stuff. Wait a minute. I heard, where did I hear this before? I heard this before. That's when we remember what the Malach taught us. That's when we remember what the Malach taught us. I heard these words before. So I'm this kid. I'm Fifth Avenue, growing up. I have everything! And something is so wrong. Something's missing. There's a vacuum. And I want to tell you, it wasn't just my imagination. I felt it. I felt sometimes, literally, my stomach was hurting me. I couldn't breathe. I felt like there's something inside me that is controlling me. I can't control my own life. I want to do something and I can't do it. And even scarier, I don't want to do something and this, whatever it is, inside me is going to make me do something I don't want to do. And I was scared every minute. It's not an exaggeration. I'm talking about not a teenager, little kid, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. Scary. Scary. You know, we have a concept called Yetzer Hara, evil inclination, right? What is the Yetzer Hara? It's a force that tries to take us off the derech, tries to prevent us from keeping the Torah. And it's very good at it.